do that, we need to have a look at how a business owner evolves from a self-employed person all the way through to an investor. So let's look at the first step of that journey. You get away from an employee and you become self-employed. You're a master of your own destiny. So these guys primarily they just step up and they're right on the edge of the stair tread. Their whole focus is on primarily replacing their wage with personal exertion income with revenue. We know how tough that is because there's a lot of expenses involved with revenue and these guys are taking what's left. So sometimes they have a negative geared business when they start out, but that's the start. Primarily, they're looking for cash flow. But as they get across this stair tread, what they're looking for is to create profits. Profits will allow them to employ people and grow the business. So this is the space, self-employed people, this is the space where they have the step-up program. It's their first step up. And the strategies that you're going to be helping them apply at this level, in this program, are the money-making strategies, the mastery stuff, the simple stuff. Okay, raising prices, VIP programs, scripting, marketing. What marketing are they doing? So the leads, conversion, average dollar transaction frequency, that they need to create some more money in the business because they're probably not skilled up in that area, most likely being technicians. They don't have a lot of time either because they're spending a great amount of their time in production. But eventually, hopefully after about a year, after about 12 months, they'll have moved to the point where they now have enough profits in the business to be able to employ somebody. And I'm talking about somebody that can help with production. I'm not talking about a PA or a receptionist or a bookkeeper. Those people don't create what the business sells. So you need to have somebody, the next level, before you go stepping them up and graduating them to the Power Up program, they really need somebody that they can start leveraging into production. But when they're ready, they step up to the next level, and the next level, of course, is the manager. Now, as I said, manager is defined by having somebody that can help them in production. Again, this tipping point, they might be looking at somebody helping half a day a week. It might be a bookkeeper who has an accountant who has a bookkeeper helping out, but essentially they are in production. They get paid for what they do. They are a profit center, not a cost center. Now, if they are here or above, they are on the Gold Power Up program. Because the strategies included in this program are far more sophisticated. They don't take any longer. I don't spend more than an hour with them, but we're working on more sophisticated strategies. The aim here is to move these guys from the point where they are still very high in personal exertion to the point where they diminish their production component and now have time to run the business. They're still going to be very busy managing people, but that's where you want to get. And you don't want during this process for them to replace their production time with stuff. That's no use at all. Okay, so in this particular area, they're going to be systemizing the business. They're going to get the systems to run the people instead of them running the people. Okay? But once they have systems to run the people, they're less involved in the day-to-day operation of the business. They're now going, what's next? And the next step is to move up to director. Now, the director here is sweet. They're starting to get some really good, solid leverage here. This is where they're going, great, my team are looking after the production and the production's getting done. Here, these people need to learn to move from reactive tactical to proactive strategic style of management. Okay, so when they start at the director level, yes, I'm directing, their view is like in a week ahead. They know of a trade show next year, but really they're dealing with the right now over this side. Okay, so you need to teach them strategies with long-term vision, bigger plans, what's next, what's the business going to look like when it's finished, till I get to the point here where basically they're turning up at the business for the board meeting, once a month board meeting. They might, but probably not, have a call with their key members once a week for an hour. Sounds like coaching. So they become coaches for their business instead of working in it. Their team, their middle management is now responsible, their general management's now responsible for running the business. The next step up from here is entrepreneur. So at entrepreneur, they want to start looking at multiplying and duplicating the business. So they want to move over from here, prototype, to here, production. From prototype to production. They've created their prototype business over here, and now they want to go, okay, let's open a second restaurant. Let's open a third factory. Let's open another office. So from prototype to production. Again, this is systems work, and the systems work is pretty advanced sort of stuff. The reason for that is you can develop systems for a manager and for a director, but when you get to the point where you come here to entrepreneur, you realize how much you didn't systemize. When you're talking about duplication, did we systemize how to select, shortlist, identify, negotiate a lease, and fit out a new restaurant? We didn't systemize any of that. We didn't systemize how to recruit an entire team. We systemized how to recruit, one person at a time. But this is the whole team. Do we start with the cook for the restaurant? Do we start with the wait staff? Who do we start with? Where do we start? So there's a lot of very advanced systems here that need developing. The final level over here is investor. The investor is selling the production businesses. So think of it as a cascade. Self-employed's doing the work. Manager's managing people to do the work. Director has systems running the people to do the work. The entrepreneur is duplicating the systems that run the people that do the work. The investor is selling the duplicated systems that run the people that do the work.